Hey, it's a software engineering student here, and today we're going to talk about polymorphism. So, polymorphism is one of the four main pillars in object-oriented programming. In the last episode, we talked about overriding, and we're going to continue on the few classes I created last time. But first, let's go through them. So, I created an animal class with a private string name, a simple constructor, and a simple eat function that just prints eating to the screen. I then created a subclass to a superclass animal, which is bear, which extends animal, a simple constructor, using a super keyword to access a constructor from a superclass, and then overriding our eat method from our animal class. So first of all, polymorphism. So what polymorphism is? I will first delete this. Polymorphism is simply the ability to create one object that's like built of a subclass and a superclass. So what that means is we could create an object of type animal, bear, which equals to a new bear class, and name him Jim. So it might be confusing. Previously we were doing bear as the type. Let's do bear1 equals new bear. Call him Jimmy. Like that. So what's actually the difference? And what's the use of actually being able to create an animal, a bear object, which is actually cast. So this is simply casting. Cast to be an animal class, which is the superclass. So what this means is the first type defines that we're only able to use the methods inside of this class, but we use the type of methods inside this class. So what that means is we are only able to use the methods from the animal class. In the animal class, we've got an eat method. That's all. So we are able to use the eat method of the type we've been overriding inside our bear class. So for example, if we had another method inside a bear class, inside a subclass called public void sing, and it would just be the bear singing. So could you just sing, I guess. It's just demonstration, doesn't really matter. But in a bear class, we got a method called sing, which would just print sing to the screen. But because we created an object as an animal type, we would not be able to access the sing method, because we're only able to access the methods from animal. But the methods from animal, but with the code blocks from bear, which means let's create another, just an animal. Animal equals new animal with name Jack. Names doesn't matter at all, but yeah. So if we call bear, no, let's do animal first. Animal dot eat. We got eating because we can use the methods from animal and the type of method from animal as well. So we would go to animal eat method and print eating. But if we do bear eating, bear.eat, let's remove this now to avoid any confusion. So bear.eat, we would get bear is eating because it looks at the way we construct our object and go. So the first type is animal. So we're only able to access our animal methods, which is eat is one of them. And then it's created as a new bear, which means we first check, is eat inside animal? It is. And is it being overridden inside bear? Yes, it is. So we're going to use the overridden method from bear, which prints bear is eating. But we can't access our sing method. So if we've got bear.sing, it would give an error because it's telling us there's no sing method inside animal. This is created as an animal, but of the bear type. So this is the basics of polymorphism, and this allows us to, for example, add these to a list, or it's an array list. We can create an array list that contains animal, and we just call it animals equals new array list. we were able to add both bear and animal, even though they're actually different types. Because if the main type of the animal and bear is both animal, we'd be able to add both of them to the animal list. So we would be able to do animals.add bear and animals.add animal. And we're now able, which is one of the main things at least early on, we would be able to create a for loop and say for each, go through each animal in an animal array list. So we do animals dot size length. Oh, we need an s animals dot size. There we go. And for each animal, we would just print. We would go animals dot get I dot eat. So for each animal, we would access the animal on the index I and call the eat function, eat method. So by now we get different outcomes. But we call the eat method on both, which is the same method, kinda. But because we are using the bear subclass, we would use the overridden version of our eat and get bear is eating. So this is the basics of polymorphism. Hope you enjoyed and see you in the next episode.